Hello everyone and welcome to the pre-stream for Tuesday, December 4th, 2018. I am Darkside Phil, and ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to what is going to be an epic day, another epic day. You know, yesterday in particular was a pretty crazy epic day. I was able to wrap up both Darksiders 3 and Spyro 3 Reignited, ending 2 ongoing playthroughs and finishing up, you know, a chapter of content. Today will be even more epic in my opinion, okay? If you're not aware, today I'm going to be finishing up both Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Dragon Quest XI. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a playthrough that I started the first week of October, okay? Basically 2 months ago, as of today. A playthrough that I did enjoy, in particular, the open world mission structure, which is very similar to The Witcher 3, the improved parkour, and to some extent the improved combat, although I do agree that in some cases the combat it still leaves something to be desired. At the same time, a game that sadly was quite tedious because it required you to repeatedly grind, and grind some more to level up in order to progress on with the story. This is a playthrough that if I had not had to grind, I probably would have beaten, no lie, in about middle of November. But I hit a point in the game right when I hit around level 25 that the game basically required you to do an incredible amount of side content in order to actually level up enough to continue on with the story. And so it basically added another 10 to 15 hours, if not more, onto the playthrough. And as you guys know, I was juggling so many different games at the same time that there was no way that I could finish it up until today, okay? And so, you know, I'm happy that finally I'm going to be able to finish up Assassin's Creed today for sure. And if you guys aren't aware, what are we doing today? Well, number one, I want to kill the legendary animals. Now, I've heard that a few of them are kind of interesting or alright, and one of them is an incredibly frustrating, annoying fight that everyone fucking hates in the game, and is incredibly tedious to beat. I guess we're going to see today firsthand. I would love to kill all the legendary animals, since I'm on level to do it. And I don't know, I believe you get like a reward, like a trophy and some armor set or whatever for doing it. So I'd love to see what that is. I guess we're going to see. And also there is one other mythical creature that I can fight at this point that apparently is just about the same level as the Minotaur. So I may go and do that as well. Kat did fight this in her playthrough, and she was only level 41. I'm level 39, so I'm thinking after I fight some of the legendary beasts, maybe I'll be able to take on the next mythical creature, okay? Once we get that stuff done, or once I get so frustrated I just don't want to do it anymore, then we're going to head on and finish up the story. From what I understand, there's not much story left. Like, there's maybe 2-3 story missions tops left in the game. And then basically the only final thing left to do is there's a final optional mythical creature that's level 50. So again, if you wanted to do it, much like earlier in the game, you'd have to grind on side content in order to finally get up to level 50 so you could fight this, you know, final mythical creature. Okay? So all that being said, okay? All that being said, the bottom line is this, my friends. It should be a fun stream, okay? If we finish everything early, let's say we finish early, then I'll just do some more side content in the game. Maybe look for meaningful side missions or whatever. Okay? I guess we'll find out. We'll see how it goes. And go from there. Alright, now, later tonight, I'll be finishing up another game playthrough. One of the longest game playthroughs I've ever done. Definitely not the longest. The longest I've ever done was Persona 5. But Dragon Quest XI. I've put over 80 gameplay hours into this game at this point. And we're finally at the end game. Because the other day, I was able to use an in-game strategy to make 1.5 million experience points within 2 fights. And it was pretty damned epic when it happened. People flipped out. I gained like 15 levels. It was just nuts, okay? And at this point now, I should be able to beat everything in the game. And so tonight, what we're going to be doing is finishing up with all that stuff. I'll be doing first the optional dragon boss that has whooped my ass multiple times. I'll be trying to fight him. And then I'll be trying to finish up the trials. Apparently there's 5 trials. I've done 3 of them, so 2 more quick trials. And then the final boss of the game, who apparently, from what everyone's saying, is going to be a pushover now because I'm over-leveled to fight him, basically. And so that's going to be the end of that very long ongoing playthrough. It's been a lot of fun. I really have had a lot of fun since early September. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Dragon Quest XI released on September 4th. So today marks the 3-month anniversary of me playing Dragon Quest XI. And I had a ton of fun with it. And I want to say special thanks to everyone for these 2 playthroughs today who have stuck in there patiently and watched the playthroughs, you know, over time, progressing and continuing. I know it could be really annoying when you have to wait to watch the next part of a playthrough that you really enjoy or the next stream of a playthrough that you're really digging. I wish that we were in a situation where I could play these kind of lengthy, drawn-out games at length and beat them quickly. We're not. You know, we're at a point where I have to kind of follow along whatever's the hot new release that's interesting, and I have to juggle a ton of releases, because if I don't, then basically attention will wane, you know. And that's the deal, is when you play a long, drawn-out game, 80 hours, right? You're certainly not going to get on stream 20 the same attendance you got on stream 1. You're not going to get the same amount of views on YouTube. And I understand that. So that's why I've been doing my best to balance these games with all the other hot new releases. That being said, you guys have come back repeatedly every time I play these games. You've been supportive. You've made the streams awesome and fun. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to miss these games because these have been some really chill, fun gameplay experiences for me that I've absolutely enjoyed having. And knowing that I'm not going to have these to go back to as a staple is kind of disappointing. You know what I mean? Like, I've really dug playing these games over the past few months and hanging out with you guys while I did. Okay. So, you know, there you go, guys. I want to say thank you, you know, for hanging in there. But today is going to be the big finale of both games. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is my day off from streaming. So I will not be here tomorrow. I'll be out and about with Kat, doing errands and the like, grocery shopping in particular, and basically just doing a few things here and there that need to get done. And then I'll be back on Friday with an Indies Marathon, okay? For those who aren't aware, Friday will be different than the normal format stream. It's a marathon stream where I'm going to be playing a variety of games, including the following. Minecraft on the Xbox One, Axiom Verge on the PS4, I Want to Be the Guy on PC, Stardew Valley on the PC, and what's the 5th game? Oh, Sonic Dreams Collection. Okay, I'll be having all this stuff ready to go, and then there's a 6th game. I'm not sure if I'm going to play it or not, only because when you have 6 games for a marathon, typically that means that you usually have it as a backup if something else goes wrong or isn't interesting. So the 6th game is Ruiner, but I'm going to leave that one on the back burner and see what happens with the other 5 games, okay? During this marathon, I'll be swapping between these games, checking different ones out, seeing, you know, how I like them. As you guys know, I haven't played Minecraft in 3 years. We'll see if it's changed or, you know, how fun of an experience it is. Games like Minecraft and Stardew Valley are going to be super chill, where I'm just basically going to interact with you guys while I do random shit, right? Should be good. So that's going to be this Thursday, and during that event, I'm going to be having a running tally of contributions for tips. This will be one of the opportunities this month if you want to help out with my financial situation and contribute. Basically, I'll be trying to raise as many funds as I can during that stream to help with this upcoming situation next year, okay? So that's basically the first opportunity for you to do that. Not to say that you couldn't contribute on a daily stream, but as you know, if I'm doing a playthrough, I don't want the whole stream to be about, oh, Phil's trying to raise funds and turn it into a freaking telethon. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be like that. But if you're doing a marathon event that's a lot different than my normal content, doesn't really hurt anything to be doing something like that and have a running tally of contributions and stuff like that, okay? So Thursday will be the very first day where we do something like that, all right? Okay, then on Friday, it's the premiere of Super Smash Brothers Brawl. I almost said Melee and Brawl. It's Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. The newest Smash game. First stream, I'll be checking out the story mode. Second stream, I'll be doing online play. Yes, that means sadly I have to pay for the stupid Nintendo online service. And it really sucks you have to pay for this thing. Because I hate to say it, I know for a fact in the next year I'm probably almost not going to play any Switch games. Because there are not. Like, what are the first-party Switch titles coming out in 2019? Duh. I can't even name a single one. What's a first-party Switch title we all want to play next year? You know what I mean? So, that sucks. And I just don't, I'm going to be paying for this service, online play, to probably play Smash, and that's it. And I don't even know what it costs. I'm going to guess $20. And I'm just going to be dropping money, basically for nothing. It's different. When you pay for Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, and you pay the monthly charge for it, right? At the very least, you're going to be playing multiple games on the services. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, not a ton. I certainly don't play a ton of games, but at least just right now on my PS4, I'm playing Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2 online. And, just recently I played Soul Calibur. Soon I'll be playing more fighting games. See what I mean? Like, I get my money's worth out of it. If I pay for Xbox Live, same thing. But sadly, in this situation, we're basically going to be playing for a service that I know I'm probably only going to be getting one game. And that kind of stinks that I'm going to have to drop $20 on it. But it is what it is, I guess. Nintendo basically wanted to make extra money for nothing. And they said, well, if everyone else is charging for their online play, we should too. So they did. And, of course, Nintendo fanboys yet again. Oh, no complaints. We'll just do whatever they say. It was a big uproar when PlayStation Network went from being free to a paid service, but then when Nintendo does it, no one cares. Hilarious, right? But anyway, yeah, Smash Brothers on Friday. I'll be doing the story on my first stream and my multiplayer on the second stream. Saturday, maybe more of the same, depending on how much content, offline content there actually is, I'm not sure. And then starting on Sunday, I'm going to start balancing other stuff. So, yes, there'll still be Smash Brothers on the stream, but I'll be balancing other things, like I'm going to bring back Call of Duty Blackout. I'm going to bring back Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer, okay? And in addition to that, I'm thinking of bringing back Street Fighter V into the mix as a stream maybe a couple times a week to try to get back into the mix of things, since I haven't played fighting games in months. I think September was the last time I touched a fighting game, besides Soul Calibur, of course, but I'm talking about Street Fighter stuff. And coming up, I'm thinking of starting up my Final Fantasy IV playthrough. So we'll have a big balance of games between Smash, Final Fantasy IV, and other things that I'll be doing at night. Okay? So, alright guys, that's the deal. That's what's coming up right now. Keep in mind, there's other stuff coming up this month too. There will be Red Dead Redemption Online. In fact, next week, not this week here, but next week, I'll be implementing a session or two where I'm going to be doing co-op with people in Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. And basically doing a posse of people going through the story mode and then maybe doing some Suicide Kings. So that's coming up next week as well. So Smash this weekend, then Final Fantasy IV, and Black Ops 4, and Street Fighter V, and then Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. So lots of stuff coming up. There's also going to be 3 holiday events this month. The first is going to be my annual fantasy wrestling simulation matches, and this year it's going to be epic because it's in 2 separate games. It's going to be both in Fire Pro Wrestling World and in WWE 2K19. So 2 different games, epic level fantasy content, fantasy matches. It should be lots of fun. And then I'm going to be doing my holiday gaming marathon. All right. And in regards to that, patrons have already begun to nominate games for this marathon. It's a wide variety of stuff people are nominating. So it's going to be very interesting to see what actually makes the cut, okay? And I'm going to be doing a Christmas Eve podcast. So 3 different holiday events I'm doing this month, all near Christmas time. I'm thinking probably The Sims will be, a couple days before Christmas. The gaming marathon will probably be the day before Christmas Eve, so that would be, I guess, Sunday. And then the Christmas Eve, obviously, podcast will be on Christmas Eve, which is that Monday. So lots of holiday-themed stuff coming up. And then, once the Christmas stuff is out of the way, I'm going to be doing my most disappointing games of the year, as well as my Game of the Year awards. And ladies and gentlemen, I think in an unprecedented move, I'm going to now do these this year as live broadcasts. All right? What does that mean? It means I'm probably not going to sit in front of a video editor at night and edit out videos. Instead, I'm probably going to put together video footage and just play said footage while I talk over it on a live deal as a countdown, okay? So it'll be a live stream of me doing my countdowns this year. I have to think about how I'm going to implement that, completely. Okay? But I think that's what we're going to do this year, something completely different. Since I pretty much have become a full-time live streamer, let's face it, how often do I do anything that's exclusively for YouTube? Pretty much never now, right? So it makes more sense for me to cater the year-end content into a interactive, countdown, rather than me doing it as an edited video for YouTube. You see what I mean? Okay. All right. So there's a preview of the rest of the month, everyone. I want to say thanks very much for all of your support. Before I get into plugs, very briefly, I'm going to be mentioning this pretty much every day on pre-stream. If you live in the European Union, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be aware and you got to get involved with this Article 13 deal that's going on. There's a law, or I don't even know what it is, a guideline that may pass soon called Article 13. If it does pass, it basically means that anyone who does not outright own the copyright right in order to broadcast something on the internet cannot do it. So that means if you want to do a let's play of a video game, you can't do it. You want to do a review of a game, you can't do it. Because you don't own the copyright for that product. Now, everyone knows let's plays and gameplay streams and game reviews have always been considered transformative works that are protected under fair use copyright law. However, it never went to court. And because it never went to court and there's never been a ruling on this, Article 13 is basically going to shut all this down. Especially for people who are in the European Union, you guys will not be able to watch YouTube or Twitch videos at all. Like, that's it. You won't be able to use the websites. Both Twitch and YouTube have outright said if Article 13 passes as is, we have to shut down our services in the European Union, and this is going to threaten people's livelihood. This is going to threaten our business health, and so they are currently campaigning to try to get this law changed or completely abolished. All right? So FYI, guys, if you live in the European Union, it's up to you guys to try to do something to fix this, whether it's contacting your lawmaker, putting up a sting, making videos about it, or talking about it on the internet, getting public knowledge out there that this is happening. Very similar to when I spread knowledge about SOPA and PIPA and Article S.978 and all the stuff that they were trying to do here in the States, 6-7 years ago to ruin the internet, and we basically shut all that shit down. It's now up to you guys over in the European Union to do your part, because I sadly can't do much. Being here in the United States, I have no power at all besides just to spread awareness. And I obviously don't want you guys to not be able to see streams, to not be able to see content on the internet. I just don't want to see it, okay? I just don't want people to say, oh, well, now all of a sudden we cannot watch anyone anymore on the internet, right? We can't watch anyone broadcast anything. That would suck. So please do what you can, okay? Number one, Swagling said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard ever. He said reviews are exempt from copyright. Wrong. Let's players will get permission to stream games. Wrong. People will be able to make videos that stream content they own. Wrong. He literally said 3 completely false statements because he thinks that magically things overnight are going to fix themselves. It's not going to happen. Let's players are not going to be able to obtain permission from every single game company to play every fucking game. Reviewers are not going to be able to get, permission, and it's just not going to happen that way. You are wrong. And basically people who just want to stick their fingers in their ears and go, neener, 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 ignore it, it's going to go away. You're going to have a rude fucking awakening when the article passes and you go to use Twitch and YouTube and you can't. Oh, you're in the European Union, you're banned from using this. Oh, I guess I should have listened, right? Very stupid. That being said, please do something. I wish we could do something. I could do something. I can't. It's up to you guys over in the European Union, okay? All right. All that being said, guys, thank you very much for 10 years of awesome support. Thank you for 10 years of amazing, content, that I was able to put out and you guys enjoyed. I'm only here because of you and your support. It's that simple. I'm only here because of you guys, all right? That being said, there are many ways that you can support. The first would be checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. All right. Your monthly pledges to my Patreon obviously directly aid me in continuing to afford everything, but also earn you personal perks. Depending on how much you contribute, you earn great things such as text or verbal thank yous and shout outs in my videos, getting your questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, getting a private Q&A video made for yourself, or the best perk in my opinion, if you pledge $5 or more, you get to nominate and vote on monthly events. In particular, this month, if you pledge $5 or more, you'll be able to nominate your favorite moments of my 10-year legacy on the internet, 10 years of content creation, because we're going to be, if we hit a monthly subs goal here this month, doing another retrospective event where I take a look back at my 10-year career and we basically react to some of the fun stuff that I've done. Okay, I did this in September. It ended up being incredibly successful. People absolutely loved the event and wanted me to do it again. So we're going to be doing it again in January, all right? So please give it a look, patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Thanks to anyone who is a current pledgee, and in particular, thanks to the following people who pledged in November. Alright, so thanks again to all of my current patrons, and I hope you'll consider pledging this month to get in on the retrospective event. Also, guys, there is a Teespring Shop that I have where you can buy all kinds of fun merchandise. In fact, today in particular, I'm wearing one of my Teespring shirts. One of the originals, look. The original skull design. That is from 2017. It's one of the best ones. In fact, I also have the mug. That's the very same design, right? There's tons of stuff over on my Teespring Shop, including my holiday line of product, 10-year anniversary products, all kinds of fun stuff. You got to go give it a look. And anything you buy obviously helps me out, but you get a cool quality product. This shirt I've owned for almost 2 years and has never worn out. It's still perfect. It looks like the day I bought it, no lie. That being said, please, if you're going to order something from my Teespring Shop and you're hoping to get it in time for Christmas, you've got to order soon, because Teespring does not just stock stuff. It's a made-to-order business, meaning when you order, they then make the shirt and ship it to you. So you've got to order ahead of time if you want to have it processed and mailed to you in time for Christmas, okay? All right, check it out. Teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. All righty. Moving on. If you guys are here live on the stream today and you either cheer, tip, or subscribe to the channel. So cheering with bits, tipping via PayPal, or subscribing to this channel on Twitch, you will get a shout out during the course of today's stream, okay? Pretty nice, right? However, I would ask that if you are going to contribute and you're looking for a shout out, to please follow by the stream rules. We have rules in place. Number 1, to follow Twitch's terms of service, and number 2, in order to make sure that everyone has a fun and chill experience. So here are said rules. Number 1, please no insults against myself or other stream chatters or other content creators. They're just not allowed. Number 2, please don't bring in negative influence or negative news about crap. We don't need to hear about the latest guy who's talking crap about me, the person who's stealing my content, the negative, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares, okay? We know what happens. We don't care. We don't need to talk about it on the stream. We don't talk about things like politics and religion if we can at all avoid it. I certainly don't outright ban them on the stream, but at the same time, I realize that those are topics that will definitely get people arguing with each other and upset. And the bottom line is, since the whole point of the stream is to try to make you relax and be entertained, we don't want people getting into drama, all right? That being said, when you come and watch one of my streams, what you're really trying to do is escape the real world, have an opportunity to watch me play a game, see my honest reactions, enjoy that, right? Whether it's you laugh, you cry, you rage, whatever it is to my reaction, it's fun, right? And you get to hang out with me, you get to interact with me and the other people in the stream chat, and we have a good interactive social time here on the stream. That's the point. if we just made it all about drama and politics and arguing with each other and insulting each other, it would be a, you know, a kiddie show, and it wouldn't be chill at all. It would be the complete polar opposite, and that's not what we want, okay? We're going for this chill vibe, so please, let's try to keep it to that level, all right? Fair enough. Now, if you'd like to see a fun thank you animation play on the stream, in particular, holiday-themed, all right, there's 3 ways you could do that. If you either cheer 100 bits or more in a single cheer, if you tip me $5 or more in a single tip, or if you subscribe to the channel and click on the share button that appears afterward, a fun thank you animation will play on the stream to give you extra recognition for your contributions. It's pretty neat, because not only will you get the verbal shout out from me, but then you get a cool visual animation as well. Special shout outs to Popsicolo, who just made the new cheer animation for us and went live yesterday. The Milk and Cookies animation with presents is pretty damn neat. I really enjoy it. I think you guys are going to like it. That's going to stay, as well as the tip animation, which is Santa Phil. Those will stay for the entirety of this month, all right? They will be reset in January once we hit a new month. So all month long, you can enjoy the festive goodness here on the streams. Okay, guys? Alrighty then. Also, you can see there's a stream stats leaderboard at the top of the screen. Current top cheer and top tip will be updated regularly so that you can get recognition for those contributions. Also, I will be doing a running tally of the subs. FYI, as you can see, we still don't have the sub goal set up. It will be set up as of Thursday. As you can see, we did have a dip in subs, which I knew was coming. I remembered that in early November, we had 2 people who gifted a significant amount of subscriptions. Okay? And when they did, basically, I knew that what was going to happen was we were going to have a dip in subs this month, because those people who were gifted subs are not just going to auto-renew them. You see what I mean? So I didn't want to set up a subs goal for this retrospective event, and the next thing you know, we lose 50 subs, and now it's unattainable. So when I come back from my time away tomorrow on Thursday, I will set up a subs goal that's realistic. Sounds good? All right, there we go. Going to be pretty good. Outside of all that, guys, one final thing, and this is really important. Right now, I really could use your help if you are going to contribute during today's stream, and you have the option to choose. You know, maybe you're saying to yourself, "Man, Phil just mentioned a million things: Patreon, Teespring, cheering, subbing, tipping. If I just want to help Phil the most, what can I do?" The answer is tipping me. If you tip me today, it helps me more than anything, because tips go directly to my PayPal account, which then allow me to go directly to bills or my bank account to pay bills. All right. Right now, all of my bills are coming due and being paid, and that completely empties out my bank account in the first week to 2 weeks of the month. I don't get paid by Twitch until the middle of the month. It used to be different. I used to get paid much earlier when I was with a partnership on YouTube. I lost that partnership, and now I get paid in the second half of the month, but all the bills come due at once at the beginning. It sucks, because now I have this financial crunch. The past 2 months, I got overdrawn on my damn bank account, cost me hundreds of dollars. This really stinks. I'm trying to get to a position where this doesn't happen anymore, all right? So your support via tips would help me out tremendously right now. How do you tip? Number one, if you look below my stream, there's a button that says tip jar. You can click on that. It'll bring you to my PayPal tips page, where you can either be anonymous, or you can leave your name in a message, or you can type in !tip into the stream chat. That will bring up the link that you can click on, and that will allow you to leave a tip as well. Thank you to anyone who contributes in any way. I'm appreciative no matter how you contribute, but in particular, the tips help me the most, so please consider doing that if you at all can today. All right? I got through the plugs. Now it's time for shout-outs, everybody. For those who have contributed so far, all right? So let's get started. Overnight, Golden Colts did 3 separate 300-bit cheers. Thank you very much, Golden Colts, for the overnight support. And Game Master, Killed by a Shadow, also did a 50-bit cheer. So thank you guys, again, very much. It's really awesome that people keep me in mind when I'm not even broadcasting, okay? Then to start off today, B-Boy Cyclone resubbed for the 13th month in a row. He says, let's get Final Fantasy 13 playthrough back on YouTube. Looking forward to the stream. B-Boy Cyclone, I wish. Here's the deal. For those who aren't aware of what's going on in regards to many playthroughs that have vanished from YouTube, in particular Final Fantasy 13, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, the original playthrough, L.A. Noire, and a few more even, okay? What happened was I used to have separate YouTube channels for various playthroughs, because back in the day, before these Let's Plays were even, you know, widespread allowed, there were certain companies that sadly would strike you down for doing Let's Plays of their games. Some of the ones that were infamous for doing it were Rockstar and Square Enix, alright? So when I played those games, Final Fantasy 13 and other Rockstar games, I put them on separate YouTube channels, okay? After a while, I'd say probably around 2010, 2011, that wasn't a concern anymore. Everyone could just do Let's Plays of whatever without fear that you're going to get copyright strikes. And when that happened, I just put everything onto DSPGaming, and the rest was history, okay? However, those channels always just stayed where they were because I said, let's just leave them on the internet so people can watch these playthroughs at their own leisure, all right? And it always worked out well. However, sadly, what ended up happening was a couple years ago, some assholes, I don't even know who they were, but they must have been European, they found a way to hack 2 of my channels, okay? They hacked those 2 channels that had those separate playthroughs on them. They got access to those channels. I couldn't even get access back because everything on YouTube is automated. I couldn't even contact someone and say, no, look, those are my channels. I have the original videos. I can prove that that's me who made those videos and I own those channels. There was no one to contact. The whole thing's automated, and I couldn't get the automated process to work to get ownership of those channels back. So whoever hacked these channels basically stole the channels and then started broadcasting, you know, football games, soccer games on them illegally, and then those channels got shut down and removed from YouTube. So it really sucks because it's lame. It's lame that I had this work, right? Some of my original works on YouTube that people really liked that are gone now because of these assholes. Now people have said, well, Phil, why don't you re-upload those videos? Well, there's 2 reasons why I haven't done it. Number 1, because if I spammed DSPGaming with an insane amount of short videos again, remember, those videos were less than 10 minutes long. When I made those playthroughs, YouTube wouldn't even allow videos longer than 15 minutes. So you're talking videos that are probably 9 minutes long each, hundreds of them. Can you imagine if I uploaded Final Fantasy 13 and Red Dead Redemption to DSPGaming in a day? It would be like 300 videos, and I would get monster backlash. People would unsubscribe in droves. People would stop watching in droves. So I couldn't even do that. That's number 1. Number 2, I don't even know where those files are. I know I have them somewhere, but they're probably stored on external hard drives from 5-10 years ago, and I don't even know if the hard drives work. I have no clue what hard drive they're on. You're basically asking me to take time away from doing active new content to try to search through, you know, 10-year-old legacy hard drives in the hopes that they still work and I'll somehow find the content. There's no guarantee that I will. All right. So the bottom line is, sadly, it's just not viable. Okay, it's not. And quite honestly, is there a giant clamor for me to upload Final Fantasy 13 or my original Red Dead Redemption playthrough? No, there's not. I'm being very honest with all of you. There's actually no real desire for me to do it. Plus, people are like, oh, upload Suicide Kings. I can't. Suicide Kings was a series that I did in Red Dead Redemption that had copywritten music in it. So if I were to upload Suicide Kings, I'd either get copyright strikes against DSPGaming, or they would just mute the videos for having the copywritten music in it now. So there's literally no point in me even trying to re-upload Suicide Kings. They're basically just lost forever because of the way that YouTube did this, okay? It sucks. In reality, I agree with everyone. To have this legacy content missing is kind of a hole in my history. It does stink, but there's not a hell of a lot I can do about it. All right? The good news is Suicide Kings will ride again. At least we're going to try to get them to ride again in Red Dead Redemption 2. Black Mage C-Type said, moving forward, why don't you label your hard drives? I do. In fact, it's been since I moved here in 2014, I have labeled every single hard drive that I've stored anything on. So at least I have a general time frame of knowing what, you know, what stuff is. The problem is before then I really didn't. And so, you know, I have hard drives dating back to like 2010 that if I would have no idea. I'd be plugging in hard drive, searching. That is, again, if they even work. So there's no point in doing it at this point. Okay? Okay. So, there you go. Let's continue. By the way, thank you, B-Boy Cyclone, for the resub. Appreciate that. Alan Ridge did a 50-bit cheer. He says, when you ask people to actively oppose Article 13, isn't it similar to others telling people to go out and do political activities like voting in elections? No, it's not similar at all. And anyone with half a brain would know that, because there's a difference between trying to directly influence someone's actions in life based on their own political beliefs or their own desire to have a political belief versus trying to get someone off their butt because literally the thing that they're watching is going to go away overnight if they don't act, okay? If you want to act on politics, that's up to you guys. I'm not here to tell you, oh, drop everything you're doing and go vote. That's, in my opinion, disrespectful. If you don't vote today, you're not doing your duty and blah, blah, blah. It's in everyone's right to decide if they want to vote or not. And when voting day came around and so many streamers and YouTubers were being basically dickheads to their viewing audiences and saying, I think you're a bunch of little immature kids who just sit around and do nothing, so go vote. That was, like, disrespectful to me. And actually, it does the opposite to me when someone tells me, you know, do this because it's best for you. It makes me feel like I shouldn't do it. But when in this case, this is a case with Article 13. If people in the European Union do not act and stop this article from passing, there will not be Twitch or YouTube in the European Union, period. You will go from literally hundreds of thousands of people able to create content for you on a daily basis and broadcast, and millions of people watching a day, to maybe, I don't know, 100 people who will have permission to do it, and, you know, very few people able to watch. It's going to destroy YouTube and Twitch. This is a very big difference, okay? This is not me telling you, oh, I feel that you're an immature idiot who doesn't vote and you should go do it because that's what's best for you. This is me telling you, if you don't do something about Article 13, that's it for Twitch and YouTube. If you live in the European Union, it's over. I mean, and not exaggeration, both Twitch and YouTube have come out and said, we will just block the entire European Union. We don't care. There's nothing else we can do. We're not going to shut down operations for this stupid law, so we'll just ban everything. It's the truth, okay? So you have to take action. You know, you have to. This is a case where, you know, I don't like to get involved in politics, but you absolutely have to, because if you don't, that's the end of it, all right? That's the end of everything. And how many people's livelihood? My livelihood would be affected. How many of you guys watching right now are in the European Union? Guess what? No more me, no more anyone. You will not be a hearer. You will not be on Twitch. It will be over. You see what I mean? Okay. Andy131 did a 420-bit cheer. He says, smoke a doobie and get groovy. Well, thank you, Andy, for the support. Let's get Andy up on the leaderboard with that 420-bit cheer. Oops. I guess it's kind of funny, because, you know, there's so many people who are into this, like, pot culture. You know what I mean? It's its own thing. You got High Times magazine and people that are so into marijuana. I moved out here to Washington State, where marijuana is legal in the state. I can literally right now walk into a store, a dispensary. There's one right down the street from me, and I can buy pot if I want it. And I have no desire to do so. Yet there's people across this country who go illegally and buy it, you know, through shady means every single day to get their weed fix. It's pretty funny, but anyway, thank you, Andy, for the cheer. I appreciate that very much, okay? All right. Chipe tipped me $1 and said, good pre-stream today. Thank you, Chipe, for the first tip of the day. Let's get Chipe up here on the leaderboard. Thank you very much, Chipe. Kanji Monster Cheers says, well, I'm confused. Why do you keep those hard drives around if they might not work and you can't upload the contents? Because, as I just said, Kanji Monster, if I needed anything from the past 4 to 5 years, I can get it. Anything from 2014 on, I started labeling the drives, and the drives are more modernized, by the way. When I started, guys, external hard drives were giant. You may not realize this. External hard drives in like 2010, 2009, these things were monsters. They were loud as shit. You would plug it in and it would go vibrate and shit. That's how external hard drives were back then. Technology has advanced tremendously in the last decade. Now they're these little pocket-sized things that are silent and they run super quick. Back then they were slow pieces of shit, okay? The reason I kept them back then was because, as you guys remember, at the end of the year, I would do things like the funniest moments of the year countdown, the most disappointing games of the year, game of the year awards. So I needed to have those videos on hand so I could pull them from the hard drives and edit. Because to re-download shit, like I upload to YouTube, to re-download videos from YouTube was a chore back then. And it was better to just go from the raw files to edit the stuff together for the countdowns, okay? Plus, what you guys have to realize is that back in the day, it was a gray area. What I was doing, you know, it wasn't like Let's Plays were absolutely prevalent on the internet. They weren't. In fact, they were not commonplace that people would be doing full Let's Plays and stuff like that when I started. So originally, those first few years, the reason I saved the files was legally. If anyone ever tried to come after me and say, oh, you don't own those videos, that was not you, that's not your content, I could say, oh yeah, here it is. It's physically on this fucking drive, and I could pull it up right now and show you the date that I made it and everything. So that's really why I originally kept the files. The reason I keep them today, again, is for the year-end series stuff, but mostly, again, in case something were to happen. Let's say YouTube screwed me over, right? Now, at least, I have the past 5 years of content available on hard drives right away, and I can access it and re-upload it somewhere else if I so choose, okay? So there you go. That's why I still save it, okay? That's why. You're absolutely right. When it comes to the legacy content, the old stuff, pretty much it's ineffective, and those hard drives are pretty much worthless. But for the last few years, since hard drives became more modernized, I have all these little portable ones that I've labeled, all right? Yes, that content is definitely a lot more viable to pull up at a moment's notice and do stuff with. Okay? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for your support. Again, remember, if you contribute today, I'll give you a shout-out. I'll update the leaderboard. It's going to be a good day, continuing and finishing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then later on, Dragon Quest. I appreciate everything. Let's end the pre-stream. All right? And we'll get the show on the road. Thanks, everybody.